Recently I've been wondering where Elsa's name from Frozen might have come from. Almost all the other characters are accounted for. They're fragments of the names of Hans Christian Andersen. Or in Olaf's case, I think it might be a pun, because Olaf is the clown of the story. He makes you laugh. So the only one unaccounted for is Elsa. There are some precursors to this in the Ventrureworld Films animated features from 1995 and 96, in that the character there is named Ellie. That's also a couple of animated features where trolls are introduced, which aren't in the original Hans Christian Andersen stories. There might be a transition there. I've looked up some other famous Elsas and Ilsas, and it turns out there are several movies based on the idea of Nazi she-devils, or various very evil women from the Nazi era. One's called Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, which is on YouTube. There's another one called Most Evil Women in History, Ilse Koch. And there's also a sort of mock comic musical, I believe, called Ilse, Queen of the Nazi Death Camp. There's a movie much earlier, well, from the 60s, maybe later in some of these cases than those, called Born Free, about a lion named Elsa, who was raised in captivity and then let loose into the wild. And I wondered if there might have been a connection for that with Disney because of the Lion King. Lion's the king of beasts, so we could call the female lion a queen, and she's let out after being kept in captivity for a while. Also, there's a possible play on the sounds, because the Snow Queen, original story by Hans Christian Andersen, very much is concerned with mirrors. So I wondered about other famous mirror fairy tales, and one, of course, is Alice in Wonderland, about a girl who goes through a looking glass to an alternate world full of crazy adults. And her name, if you take the last couple syllables and flip them around, the last couple sounds, Al-S, you got S. And if you flip that to Sa, you have, instead of Alice, Elsa. And I thought of doing this flip because Hans Christian Andersen, I discovered from a page done by the Masons where they like to sponsor research and help children who are dyslexic, found that Hans Christian Andersen was also dyslexic. So maybe that might be a source for one of the versions of the name. It's also basically a royal name, similar to Elizabeth. And of course we have had famous queens who were named Elizabeth. There's on Hans Christian Andersen's story too, I found from a Disney wiki, where one of the other characters in Hans Christian's story is named Eliza. So maybe all those or some combination came together.